to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. One of his advocacy, turning marketing systems and strategy into a measurable revenue, other than Mr. Philip Bacon.
Thank you very much for having me on, Daniel.
Welcome, Mr. Philip, on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Okay, so my name's Phil. I'm the founder of Marketing Managed um, and the creator of the potato marketing method, which uh, is a structure for making sure that you get the foundations of marketing right and that it's easy to communicate across your team. And predominantly, that means trying to get marketing and sales to talk to each other in a way that's constructive rather than the normal bun fight that is the sales and marketing world.
In marketing world, for sure. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Phil. Thank you. And today, let's talk about the algorithm that aligns sales and marketing. Tell us. Let's start with the big picture. What do you mean by an ops rhythm, and why is it rhythmic, ongoing process more effective than occasional alignment meetings?
Okay, so if you've only got occasional alignment between sales and marketing, things start to wander off. Sales need marketing to happen because otherwise their world doesn't work. Marketing needs sales to actually go out there and win customers and convert business as it comes in and help sell product. The two, when operating in silos, are not efficient. There is clashes. There's how do we how to best describe. So there'll be clashes. There'll be friction. There'll be blame, and there's toxic competition as well. If we can streamline that and make the two work together in a really, really rhythmic way, we then start seeing that growth happen. We actually start seeing growth for a start. So regular communication, marketing buying into more of what sales do, sales buying into more of what marketing do. The quality of customers, the quality of potential customers that comes through is much, much higher because we're starting to get feedback. So one of the things that we picked up on, and this has happened, this is before I started the agency, while I've had the agency, and it continues on to this day, is that as soon as we start getting sales buy-in, the battle to get marketing budget diminishes, the value of the sales go up, and we start seeing shorter sales cycles as well because you're only appealing to the right sort of audience.
Interesting, Mr. Phil. So, beyond the classic tension over lead quality and quantity, what is the
Mm.
deeper systemic misalignment you see between the sales and marketing that an ops rhythm is designed to fix?
So the deeper part is that sales have been around for a very long time as a function within a business. Everybody is try everybody is trying to sell something. Now, marketing has got a reputation for being soft, fluffy. Um, the coloring in department, the ones that make the pretty pictures that help tell a story, but don't really help sales do much more than, oh look, it's pretty. Now, historically, for me, 22-ish years ago, I was actually working in IT, and the company that I worked for saw that saw that we needed a website. and a website involved a computer. So therefore, that was marketing, and that would then be the IT department's job, which then meant we had to work with sales. Now, the sales team were very reluctant to work with us because there was 10 of them, one of us, and they were like, "No, we don't need you. We'll just do our own thing." So I had a bit of a fight on my hands, and I didn't like the idea of the fighting. I didn't like the idea of the toxicity that I was experiencing. So I made friends. I made friends with the salespeople, and it after a while, it started to work. As we started to break down those barriers between us. So I mean, it got to the point where they started inviting me out to the pub on a Friday afternoon. So rather than lunch in the office, it would be, "Oh, Phil, come with us to the pub." Great. As soon as we broke down that barrier and the trust was there, sales and marketing started working well together, and we started doing a lot more stuff. We started doing photography for products, and we would do regular photography. We started having brochures that didn't exist before, and not just technical spec sheets, but actual benefit-led brochures, so that when the sales team went off to exhibitions that we organised for them, they had something to give away. And lo and behold, they're at one conference exhibition, and we'd sent them out with enough material to give to 20% of the attendees, because we didn't expect them to be taken up beyond that. Get a phone call at the end of day one. "Phil, we've almost run out of sales literature. We're going to need more." I was like, okay. You're in Germany. I'm in Bournemouth in the UK. Jump in the car, go to the printers, phone ahead. "We need more. I'm coming now." Back to the office. Courier arrives overnight straight to Germany. Cost an absolute fortune. Sales team were happy, and we built that operational rhythm because they talked to me. They talked to us they talked to me as a marketer, and they started to buy into the marketing process. When I left there, the leaving present from the sales team was a pack of felt tip pens, because despite the fact that we'd made it work, they still saw marketing as the colouring in department. But now they understood what it meant and understood why it was there.
Mr. Phil, tell us, why is operations the ideal function to act as the mediator and conductor between sales and marketing rather than just letting work out of themselves?
Um, Operations isn't always going to be the right department, because not every company has an ops department anyway. But the ops team will have visibility of what's going on with marketing, what's going on with sales, what's going on with logistics, what's going on within their department. So they know what's being sold, they know what's going out the door, what new products coming in, and they can feed into marketing. In fact, actually, in the past, one of the first things I did when I got to one company was I went and sat in with the ops team, find out what's going on, what new products coming, what new products coming in, what things have we got to start marketing, because actually we need to build up a pipeline for the sales team, because the sales team need leads. That then goes one step further, because then you bring in the sales director, you've got the marketing director, you've got the ops director, all sat around a table, actually having a conversation, because you start pulling all the threads together. And you don't need a full team there, you just need the decision makers at that point. And then you can go away and you go and communicate what you have a spokesperson, and you get that spokesperson to communicate to all the teams, whether that's a person in sales, whether that's a person in marketing, or somebody from ops, to tell them what's going on. We've actually taken this one step further, because something we've noticed is this still happens today. So I mean, a lot of this is now historic for me, but it still happens. We've actually started working on a set of tools to help sales and marketing actually work better together. And we've gamified it so that we can create healthy competition that's very visible. And who doesn't love a bit of gamification?
Can you walk us through the key components of this rhythm? Is it a weekly meeting, a shared dashboard, a specific process, or what are the non negotiable touch points?
Oh, now it very much depends on the company. Sometimes you might need to go more frequently than weekly. Um, if there's if you let's take an e-commerce company for instance, and a big e-commerce company, you're gonna have dashboards that are live, that are visible across the entire business. So whether that's physical displays up in the sales and marketing office, or whether it's an open sales and marketing office or not, um, that will also be available digitally. So if people are remote, they can still see what's going on. Uh, the regular cadence on the meetings need to be appropriate to the business, though. So I don't believe in having meetings for the sake of having meetings. They've got to be a meeting that actually has a benefit to the business. So you might have a weekly stand up that is sales and marketing heads, so that everybody can just make sure they're aligned and they can raise any problems that have been happening. Um, you might then go monthly for big, everybody involved sales and marketing meetings for the whole company. Um, and then you just you have to adjust them based on what's going on in the business. I mean, let's take December for instance. We're almost in December, and quite a lot of the companies that we work with will start quietening down. By mid-December, they'll probably start shutting up shop for Christmas. And with that, you're then going to start seeing people going, well, um, we don't need to have as many meetings. Wrong. More meetings. You've got more time. Take the time to have more deeper meetings, because at this point we can start planning for next year. I mean, admittedly, by this point we've already planned next year, but we can start doing micro plans within that. So in December we'll sit down with the client and go, right, or if I was internal, I'd sit down with the sales director and go, right, okay, these are the campaigns we've got planned for marketing. What campaigns have you got planned for sales? These are the products that are coming in, because that's what ops have told us. And it's like, right, okay, let's start building that out. Oh, look, there's some training opportunities that are needed between sales and marketing, so that we can actually teach the sales team how to communicate the message better, so that everybody is singing from the same hymn sheet.
Well, Mr. Phil, what an interesting answer. What is the single most important metric that both sales and marketing must agree on and be jointly accountable for? And how does the ops rhythm enforce this shared ownership?
Okay, so this is a tricky one, because sales and marketing will fight over this particular who has the particular key metric. Um, let's take it in a slightly different direction, and start with the operational side of things. Ultimately, a business has a average sale value and a number of converted pieces of business that they need for the year. They also have a financial target. We need to look at that financial target and this average sale value. That will then give us the number of customers we need for the year. Now, let's, for argument's sake, say we need 100 customers spending $1,000, and that's enough. That hits our target. So we need 100. So that's, we've got a target of $100,000 worth of sales. We need 100 customers. We start working back the conversion rates. So we need 100 converted sales. We need 5 sales qualified leads for each one. We need 5 marketing qualified leads to get 5 sales qualified. for each sales qualified lead. So we need 25 sales qualified leads for each sale. And you start working it back like that. You get to the other end and you start looking at the total pool of potential customers. And that's where ops will start telling you this isn't viable because the pool is too small. And this has happened. I've sat in meetings before and worked it back with clients and said, based on what's going on at the moment, or based on what you believe is going on right now, you don't have enough potential customers because not all of your total addressable market are available to be customers. So if let's say there's 100,000 people in there and only 5% of people are in a buying mood, that's 5,000 as your total addressable market, and that starts diluting across your competitors as well. You've got 5 competitors; it's 1,000 contacts each, if you will. So ultimately, you need to get the quality of those leads up. So, as a marketer, I would say the marketing qualified lead is the most important one out of all of those. And for the reason for why is that is the one that dictates the quality. Because if you can get the quality of your marketing qualified leads up, the number of marketing qualified leads per sales qualified lead starts to come down. So you start seeing more customers coming out the other end. Now, if sales can't convert them, that's a sales problem. But sales need to tell marketing that it's not working, and that this is why. So this is where sales and marketing have to work together really closely. They need to communicate what does work, what doesn't work.
Mr. Phil, as a turning marketing system and strategy into measurable revenue, what are your short-term and long-term goals?
For us as an agency, or for clients?
Well, both, if you can.
For clients, we want to see them. We want to see our clients succeed. Full stop. That is a given. We want to see them grow. We want to see them hit their targets, but we need to make sure that their targets are realistic. So we sit with them and help them write what their targets should be based on where they're at right now. So short-term goals would be growth by the appropriate amount in line with their target, to have the most appropriate marketing channels employed, and also make sure that they are at the not even the cutting edge, but they're at the forefront of the marketing that is potentially available to them compared to their competitors. They don't have to all be using fully immersive experiential marketing, because that's not appropriate to everybody. But if they are selling one product to one type of customer and they have 2 competitors and their competitors look and act better than they do, they need to be above them. Simple. For us, we're looking at for the short term, we're actually launching some apps that make messaging and content and sales and marketing easier, and the communication and team building, and that, I mean, communication and team building is all part of the sales and marketing app that we're launching next year. We're currently looking for our beta tester that to go through it and try it. That's our short-term goal. Our long-term goal, can I say world domination?
Yes.
No,
Definitely.
No, domination.
Definitely. Why not? Dream big, Mr. Phil. Dream
No,
big.
we don't need world domination. We just need we would be looking for probably 5 times growth from where we're at right now. We're not even looking at 10. 5 times growth from where we're at now would be a nice, comfortable place for us to be. We're on track for. We're probably actually on track for that, actually. um, Based on the numbers I was looking at the other day, because that's something else I make sure that I do is actually look at the numbers, because whilst we can be doing all these great things, if the financials don't stack up, we've done something wrong. Yeah, 5x growth. Look, become way more tech enabled, and well, probably 5 to 10 years time, look at exit,
Hmm.
because by
Well,
then I'll be old.
we're getting old, Mr. Phil. But good luck to your goals and looking forward for more success for the world domination. Let's conquer the world. So,
Yeah.
Mr. Phil, what will be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you?
If they want to be like me, don't wait for something critical to happen and then decide to make jump ship and do your own thing. Um, if you've got an opportunity to start something of your own, start it now while you're in a safe and secure place, because it takes a long time to get things and to get things right. You're going to test stuff and it's going to fail miserably. But through all the testing and all the failure, you're going to come out the other end of it much, much stronger. Um, Find somebody who has been through it and ask them to be your mentor. Even just ask them to hold your hand while you're going through things. I do it for a number of people. I've got somebody who does it for me, but I've got several people that do it for me, because they've all been there. They've done that. They've been at massive, massive agencies. They've owned their own businesses. They've sold their own businesses. Just find somebody who is that step further than you are, to look at, to hold your hand, and read books. Read as much as you can, even if you can't read. No, I don't mean that as in you can't read. Oh, in some cases, even if you can't read, if you have no time to sit down and read, listen to books. Audible. I have probably 3 or 4 new books a month on Audible. I have PDFs that I'm meant to sit down and read that are 40, 50 pages long. I stick them into Notebook LM, into Notebook LM, so that I can actually turn them into audio, so I can listen to them while I'm out walking the dog. Consume knowledge and test stuff based on what you're learning.
Yes, definitely. Learn every day, people. Learn every day. And it will give you knowledge and wisdom through the years. And thank you for that advice, Mr. Phil. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Okay, so I have three. I'm going to start with a fun one. The fun one is a book called Last Night a DJ Saved My Life, and it's the history of DJing. Um, I'm also, well, until earlier on this year, I've been DJing since the early noughties. Um, Apparently, getting drunk and telling somebody you can DJ is the best way into DJing. At least it is when you want to get paid. Just blag it. I had no idea what I was doing, by the way. And after a while, I was feeling a bit disillusioned with what I was doing. And I started reading this book because it was the history, and I'd started making some friends who were, again, that bit further down the line, and they held my hand and sort of pulled me out of the funk that I'd got myself into. The funk that I got myself into is because the music I was playing wasn't really interesting me. This book actually changed the way I looked at the music, and I then started looking and seeing the patterns and the history behind the music I really wanted to play and where it had come from. It's like, hold on, wait a minute, the stuff I want to play is actually just the stuff I'm playing now, just modernized. So okay, so actually I'm going to look at the stuff I'm playing, the stuff that I get a good reaction to. I'm going to find up-to-date versions of it, and I'm going to go and play that same set somewhere else, but with a modern twist, and see how it goes down. And it worked. And I refound my love for it. And the only reason I hung up my headphones was because I have 2 children, and occasionally I quite need sleep. So going out and DJing is pretty much off the table now. Although I have got my agent who phoned me up the other day asking me if I'd do New Year's Eve again. And he waved enough money at me to make it so that I said yes. Then there's two more businessy books. Well, one businessy book, one marketing book. And this is going to be a common book amongst a lot of entrepreneurs. The E-Myth Revisited. That's obviously there was the original The E-Myth, which is by Michael E. Gerber. It's a solid foundation that you should at least read once. If not once, read it multiple times. And obviously, there's the idea towards the end, throughout it, is to spend more time working on the business rather than in the business, and that is really key. And it's, as an entrepreneur and a founder, it is really hard to work on the business and in the business at the same time. And that's probably the biggest mistake I've made, is not having a co-founder when I started the agency, because it meant that I was always on and in the business. So it actually slows you down. Apply the Pareto rule, 80-20. If you haven't got time to do both at the same time, and you can't do both efficiently, 20% of your time on the business, 80% of your time in the business. Because when you look at it across a week, that's 1 day a week you're spending on the business. As the business grows, you can start eking that back, so you get to a point where you're spending 80% of your time on the business and 20% in the business. And then you've also got things like the franchising model that comes out of that, which is really interesting and works for a lot of different types of companies. And then finally, and it's actually a book that I'm listening to again now because there's been an updated version, and that's Story Brand by Donald Miller, which is it's actually a framework for communicating your message so that you make the customer the hero rather than trying to position yourself as the hero. You are the guide to take the hero through the problem, help them find the solution, and you hold. Again, it's a bit like trying to find a mentor. You hold their hand.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you for that recommended books, Mr. Field. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season. Abstract Poverty in second season. I'm a book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season. And my food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101, love letters. Movie 101 review, music 101 of fourth season, and my baby podcast, Law 101, mental health, and Bible verses 101, science 101, sex 101 in its second season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Phil, if you could leave our audience with one fundamental shift in mindset to move from sword sales to marketing to a unified profit, what would it be?
One shift in mindset: start talking.
Yes.
Genuinely, start talking. The easiest way to do that, I found, is by getting out of the office. So, like I said, early on in my career, it was we went to the pub. More recently, it's been just going out for a walk away from the office with the sales team, like one on one on group, group and group together. But get out, focus, and just chat, and ideas start flowing.
Hmm. Yes. Go out and relax, take a deep breath, and what else? Immerse with the environment, relax, and
Mm.
take those ideas and start market your business. And Mr. Phil, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So can you
Thank you
please
very much for having me.
yes, can you please invite our listeners to support your business, your advocacy, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
So obviously, if you're needing sales and marketing help, um, visit marketingmanage.agency. We've got a number of resources on there. As you can see, there's a little drop down. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of a shake-up, go to scorecards.marketingmanage.agency and you'll find our potato marketing method scorecard, which will take you through things.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Phil Bacon, because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering marketing strategy will rise. So, Mr. Phil, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me, Daniel.
But people,